No. No. No, I don't buy it.
What?
You're not a hitman. You can't be. I tried looking you up and nothing. It's like you don't even exist.
I guess I'm just your fantasy.
So what's the biggest difference between the real you and your occupation?
By the way, my name is Gary Johnson, and I'm a fake hitman. I realize not everyone fantasized about the same hitman. Every sting operation was a performance.
This is serious. I am in service business.
And each arrest was like a standing ovation.
Okay, Daniel Day.
I had it down to a science.
Sounds lovely.
Until things got, well,
Ron.
complicated.
Madison.
We're expecting heavy turbulence, so prepare to brace for impact.
Do I scare you?
No.
Remember the lady came in trying to have her husband killed that we let go?
No, that he let go.
Yeah, her husband was just found dead.
I'm sorry, what happened?
From my perspective, you're getting a little sloppy. You're Gary? Or the hitman?
My name is Gary Johnson, and my simple question for you is, who is your hitman?
We'll see.
Oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood.
Films I'm finally seeing, one a day all June long, and then after, if you're asking, yes, I'll be podcasting. 'Cause movie month's back, and I'll be the man, to watch and podcast all month long. Yeah, movie month's back. 30 straight days again, and I hope each day you come along. Please come along, don't just stay here for this song, 'cause it's movie month time, this is the movie month. Ooh, 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 honey, it's movie month time, yeah, this is the movie month. Ooh, 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 honey, it's movie month time, yeah, this is the movie month. Ooh, 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 please listen to me as I talk movies.
Happy Friday, everybody. It's Friday, June 14th. And you know what that means? That means for the 14th day in a row, I'm talking about a movie that I just watched, a movie I've never seen before. It's day 14 of Movie Month. We are now officially 2 weeks in. Tomorrow, can you believe it? Tomorrow is already the halfway point. I can't believe it. I honestly can't believe it. I love doing this every year, and today I'm doing something a little different. Come on, come on. I'm outside right now, and I'm walking my dog, and I'm trying a different recording method. This is the first time I'm using this, I think, ever for Movie Month. I bought these little microphones on Amazon last year. It's a lapel mic. It's pinned to my jacket right now, and I'm holding my phone in my hand, and I'm just using my phone to record with the Android, whatever it is, audio recorder. And I'm here, very excited to be talking about today's movie. Now, I'm going to say it's from 2024. Okay, the IMDb says 2023 because it had one premiere in 2023. But it premiered on Netflix 2024. So I'm saying 2024. Richard Linklater film, Hitman. This is my second Linklater joint for movie month, because I've done another one in the past. Everybody Wants Some, which to me, it is not a classic in the same way that Dazed and Confused is, but it is, like, to me, a spiritual successor, a spiritual sequel to that movie. And of course, that movie features Austin Emilio and Glenn Powell. And so Richard Linklater liked these actors. He obviously likes them. He has favorites. He's working with them. He likes working with them because he's back working with them again. Yes, Richard Linklater, best known for Dazed and Confused, Boyhood, I believe, and other films along the way that I can't think of. And this was getting rave reviews everywhere. At least the promotion I saw was giving it positive reviews, and I very much enjoyed this movie. It was a fun, kind of lighthearted hitman film, if you could say. Basically a romantic comedy with some fun character acting, and then an ending that left me going, wait, huh? And I'll get there. First of all, Glenn Powell. Let's talk about Glenn Powell. I don't know when you maybe first discovered Glenn Powell. Maybe it was, in one of the Expendable movies. Maybe it was in Everybody Wants Some. Maybe it was in Top Gun Maverick just last year, because I feel like that's when he started, becoming a bigger star to me. And I think this guy is going to be kind of the next bigger superstar. I think he can be that. And to me, I first came into Glenn Powellden. I don't even know what to say. My first knowledge of him was with, I want to say 2011. I could be wrong. Wherever it was, Scream Queens on Fox, which was like a black comedy, kind of horror, kind of jokingly poking fun at the old horror movies. And he played, I think the guy's name was Chad Radwell. Let that sink in. Chad Radwell. He was phenomenal. He was hilarious. And he was my favorite part of that show. Well, him and Emma Roberts. But, and I thought this guy's really good. And lo and behold, he's been working. He's been, obviously, he's been in movies that I've seen, but it's kind of now he seems to be getting more and more praise and getting more and more opportunity, kind of becoming a bigger star. That's my long way of saying. I think he's becoming a bigger star, and I think this movie is going a long way to show that not only can he lead a movie, but he can do a quite good job of playing all these different types of characters. It was a little silly, but that's the point. What is this movie about, if you're asking? Well, it is about a professor who helps out. He's really good. He's I want to say psychology professor. We'll go with that. And he helps out with the police department, with the local New Orleans police department. He's really good with gadgets and stuff, so he helps them with surveillance. And then one day he gets tapped to actually go in undercover and have to be a fake hitman. And he finds he really has a knack for it, but he can't just be himself. He needs to try all kinds of things. So he tries all these different, they make it almost like he takes it upon himself to be, I want to try this, and I want to try accents, and I want to try different, all these different characters. And the cops never say, Gary, just be yourself. And he's this one guy named Ron, and when he's Ron, he ends up meeting with a certain young lady who, let me think her name. Let me see if I can look up her name. And I've seen her. What have I seen her in? I've seen her in something. What the hell's it called? Andor, yes. Adria Arjona. Adria Arjona. I think I got that right now. She plays Madison. She's a wife who hates her husband and wants to put a hit out on him. Obviously, he doesn't want to do it. Something a lot like he gets all these guys, puts all these guys away, but for some reason, he talks to this girl out of it. And he seems to make a connection with her. He's like this kind of really nerdy guy, but when he is Ron, he's very cool. And they're like, did Gary all of a sudden get hot? Like, I remember he's a teacher. At one point, one of the students was like, when did that professor become hot? So he ends up, feeling like he's kind of, feeling down, feeling a little lonely. His ex-wife tells him, you need to meet somebody. And so he ends up going to meet with this girl again and meet her outside of, but he plays the fake hitman the whole time. And he basically falls in love with this girl. So we start seeing him have a relationship with this girl who didn't go ahead and kill her husband, and then, or didn't go ahead for the contract, I should say. And then at the same time, we see him doing his busts, his different busts. And like he's working with the different cops. The most notable one for me is Retta from Parks and Rec. It seems like she plays his boss, like the direct supervisor. There's a couple other cops, and one of them is that Austin Emilio, I don't know if I got that right, who I know from Everybody Wants Some, and he was on The Walking Dead for a while too. So what happens is, at one point, he gets pulled in from a guy who wants to kill his wife. And he ends up running into the ex-husband. Now, he ran into the ex-husband when they went out on a date one night. So the ex-husband knew, he pulled a gun on him, he knew who he was. And all of a sudden, he sees this guy, he's like, you're a hitman? And he goes, yeah. He goes, what are you going to do something? Like, basically scared the guy off. Next thing you know, that guy ends up dead. And look, I'm spoiling everything. But lo and behold, my dog just took a massive dump, so I'm about to pick it up. Lo and behold, we find out that husband gets killed, and we find out that the girl did it, and now he's a hitman who has to, he comes clean with her that he's not who he claims he is. He's not a real hitman. He's never killed anyone before. He ends up helping her cover up that killing. And now think about this. He ends up covering up that killing. And then one of the cops is onto them, but he's a dirty cop that no one really likes. And they end up killing him. They kill him. So 2 people are murdered. They're not great people, but they were 2 people that were murdered. And then they kiss, and they're like, and we're all happy. And they go and that's it. Like, they go on at the end. We see that the ending, he's giving a lecture. They got away with the murder. I noticed right away he has a wedding ring on his hand. So I said, oh, they're married. How is that possible? And then we see they have 2 kids, an older daughter and a baby. So they're kind of like, we see Madison talking about, helping with lunches with the PTA or with, parents and school kids. And how did you guys meet? Oh, we met at a diner, the special diner. And the line that they had to give to the hitman was, I like pie, and all pie is good pie. That's how you know he's the hitman. But now they're married, and they're both themselves. They didn't change their names or anything. So that's the one part of the movie that just didn't make sense to me. Because let's say I'm Retta. Let's say I'm the cop. And I see this guy who used to work for us, maybe still does. And there was this woman who he interacted with as a fake hitman. And then there's a murder. Okay? She's a suspect, but then he does this whole thing where he gets her, he covers for her while they're recording because he shows him notes on the phone telling him people are listening, follow my lead, and that's how she gets basically away with it, which I seem like they didn't even bother to, maybe we should bring her in for questioning. No, let's just go with that. So this guy, who was a hitman, gets caught up with this girl. Next thing you know, the husband's dead. I'm not a real hitman, I should say, pretending to be a hitman. Now he's being himself, and he's back with her, and they're in love. So I guess you could say, I came clean to her, and we started talking. One thing led to another. They could say that, but they didn't explain that. So it's just like, oh, they got away with it and they got married, and nobody seems to think that something weird, like that's a little weird, that this hitman who is, having to deal with this woman whose husband died, and she maybe gets the insurance, maybe not. She's like, I don't even know if I get the insurance, but maybe. Like the other cop was going to blackmail them, let them get away with it, blackmail them for the insurance company, and then he's like, well, luckily, I know you can't kill anybody, Gary. She drugs him. Gary puts a plastic bag over his head and kills him. And I'm thinking, they might not be these are the heroes of the movie. It just didn't. I don't want to say it didn't jive with me. It's just the ending was a little like, huh. So they just got away with it, and we're supposed to be happy about that. I don't know if I wanted them to get away with it. Like at the end, they put a plastic bag over this cop's head, and he's lying there and he's breathing, and they're basically waiting for him to run out of air and suffocate. And they're going to cover it and say it's a suicide. Well, their kid, at the end, he's lying there, and he's kind of framed in the middle of them, and they go to kiss, and they say, "I love you, I love you." I was fully expecting him to pop up and go, oh, and take his, and then maybe they'd have to do something worse. But I was expecting that little jump scare, whatever you want to call it, in a comedy. I was fully expecting that, and didn't get that. He just died, and they fade away, fade in, and he's still a professor. He's himself, and he's married to a girl who was a suspect in a murder, so many years ago. I don't know. That part just like, and it's like, it shouldn't matter because it's not that important to the movie, but it does matter. It did matter, and it did bother me. But all the stuff of him, busting the people trying to have to hire hitmen was fun. All the stuff with the different characters he played, which makes it fun for me to put my hand on all their faces for the movie poster for today, was fun. And he was fun. He was good. As just everyone was good in it. Everyone was enjoyable. But that ending with them just having a full happy ending, like just, it just, it bugged me a little. I have to admit, it bugged me a little. But I feel like I'm doing a real short podcast for this movie, but there's only so much you could say about some of these movies. And my dog can only walk. My dog can only wants to walk so much. So, yeah. I think I'm done. Come on, Hagen. Come on, little girl. Good movie. Not great. Very good moments. It almost was great. I don't know, it was very good, almost. But that ending just was too neat, too simple, too tied up, too perfect. They get a happy ending. And it seems like every cop in New Orleans is like, not one person questions anything. And one of the cops who was with him just happened to kill himself that night. It was just too easily tied up in a bow. But that's it. I think I'm done here. So, my God, we did it. Short and sweet and simple, Just like my dog. She's little and sweet. Aren't you? We're back in the yard now. So, yeah, Hitman. I just hope, this leads to bigger and better things for Glen Powell. Oh, by the way, he co-wrote this. And Gary's based on a real guy. They showed him at the end. He did help do 70 busts. But they said, but no murders. We made that part up. I thought that was cute at the ending. It was a cute, fun movie. That's what it was. I'm reading too much into it, but that part, I just can't help it. That ending bugged me a little bit. If it was a super serious movie with that ending, it probably would have bugged me more. This was a lighthearted, fun movie, so it's not that big of a deal. But it bugged me a little, I have to admit. I've said it 20 times. What I did like was that as far as this movie's concerned, hitmen aren't a real thing. There's something that TV and movies made up, and people think that people are murder for hire, but that's not actually a thing that actually happens, which doesn't seem realistic to me, but I like that they did that in that movie. I just feel like we've seen arrests happen, and we've seen people hired to kill, but maybe there aren't actual quote unquote professionals. But I don't know. I just like I enjoyed it enough, and I'm glad I watched it. So yeah, Friday the 14th, done, in the books. Tomorrow is going to be the halfway point, and I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to be watching yet. I have a couple of thoughts, a couple options, and I'm looking forward to kind of deciding tomorrow. But until then, the Celtics are on tonight, so I'm very excited about that. I'm recording a new episode of Fine Movies, Fine Spirits, which we are covering The Promised Land, a Mads Mikkelsen movie, which I'm going to get up quickly because it's in Danish, so there isn't going to be any clips that I need to put in. I'm just going to get this recorded and edited over the weekend and get it up hopefully by the beginning of next week. In the meantime, there's going to be a new Movie Month podcast, of course, every day until the end of the month. And go Celtics. They could win the championship tonight. I'm pretty pumped about that. And that's it. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Threads, Mastodon.social, and Blue Sky at Geek Mentality. You can find the Facebook page of Fans Not Experts. The YouTube channel is Fans Not Experts. The website is fansnotexperts.com. That's it. I'm done. My dog wants to go in, and so I'm heading in. And I got it. She's going up the stairs right now. All right, I'm all done here. So I'll talk to you tomorrow. But until then, thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. And you want to say it? No, my wife's right there standing there. She's like shaking her head. Here is my theme song.
This is my podcast, I made it. Geek Mentality's what I named it. And I think you should listen and subscribe. 'Cause I'm kinda funny and awesome. I think that I'm worth your time, and I'm kinda handsome. My mom says, please listen and please subscribe. At least listen to this episode.
Fans Not Experts.